Okay, I'm going to move on to doing the section. Firstly, basically just project all the relevant sizes and important points across. Okay, so I'm going to project everything across to the border. So this height, the top of the web, top of the actual base unit, and we'll go to the top of like a rounded part there, and then we'll go to the very top of the pulley itself. And there will be some more bits I'll want to project across as well, like basically all these important bits here, because these are going to be bits that we'll see. So I'm just going to do it just now, and then we've got them. Project all these across. Okay. Don't really need to project anything from the bolt because we've got the bolt sitting there, so that's fine. Right. Okay, the starting point for the bolt is already kind of worked out for us, because that bit there with the nut, and there's a washer there as well which they've drawn in, that's going to rest against the side here, so that's really like the starting point for that. So I'm just going to draw a line down. The top of it is this point here, okay, that's the top of the, what are we calling it, the base support. So I'm going to draw a line down from there. Okay, I'm just going to take that down as far as there. Okay, because it goes down as far as the top of that. So that's a kind of starting point for us, right? I'm just darting that line in actually, so because it's going to be a final line. So in there like that. Okay, so what else happens here? Well, that comes down, and then we've got, if you look at the information here, basically we're going to be drawing this shape here. Okay, because that's the end elevation of the base support. So we need to add in this wee bit with the web here. Information about the web you can find here, it's 20. So you need to come out 20 millimeters. So it's going to take us pretty close to the other drawing, but that's okay. So I'm going to draw that in there, mark a line straight down from there, and then it will go up at an angle to this point here, which is the top of the web. Goes to there. Okay, the width of, the overall width is 120, as you can see there, of the base support. So I'm going to measure from there 120. It takes us pretty close to the edge. Takes us right to there. So that point will go up, and it's going to come in by the same amount, so that's 20. So it comes in 20 there. So I'm just going to draw in a line there, a line there, and then it's going to go up this point here for the web on the other side. I'll just draw that in. Okay, so I can now sort of firm in the base of it here. Okay. Right, the thickness of these parts here, you get from doing 48, take away 78, it's 30. So they are symmetrical, so they're 15 wide. Okay, so measure in 15 here. Just project this line up to the top. Again, measure 15. Okay, and I'm going to draw a line down. I'm not firming this in yet because show you why. From the tops in. I'm not going to firm the line in yet, because if you look at it, it doesn't, these parts don't come all the way down to the bottom. They go down that far. Now how far is that? Well, you get that from this information here. The radius of this curve here, which is really what you're seeing in this hidden detail here, is 65. So from the top, so from there basically, we go down 65. So from there, we go down 65, okay? Or from that centre line, we go down 65. So I'm going to measure down 65 from there. So that takes us to that point there. Okay, so now I can draw that line across, like so. Draw this line down. Again, I'm not going to do it all that dark, right? I'm going to take it quite dark, so far down. And the reason I'm not doing it too dark is because it's actually sort of curved, so we show a wee hand drawing curved just at the bottom there. Just because it's filleted, and it's all, you do that hand drawing because it's such a light, such a small curve, sorry. Okay, and it's not specified the size of it, so you can quite happily do that. Okay, so I'm just going to darken in this line here. So basically, that's the main, if you look at this, that is basically that elevation drawing. Apart from, we need to draw in, there's obviously a cut through here for the bolt to go through. And the size of that is basically the width of this here. So I'm just going to draw a line through it, just to mark where the hole would be for it. So it needs to be as wide as the bolt. I don't really need to measure it, so it goes there, and I'm just projecting from the bolt there, and obviously the same on the other side, except the other side, as you can see in the diagram, it will need to pass through there, but it's a square there, so that's different. So what size is the square? Well, it's the size of that bit there, because that's the bit that has to fit through, which is 22. So we're going to go 11 millimetres on either side of this. So 11 there, and 11 there. Okay. There, let's get it right. Okay, so it's there, and it's there. Okay. Right, so all this here is hatched because it's been cut through. The webs have been cut through as well, but we don't hatch webs. And I'm just going to do the hatching just now because I want to just talk to you about that. If we're going to do the hatching really well, this is what I suggest you do. Mark off every 5 millimetres, right? Just some wee lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You don't need to count them, but 8, 9, 10. So it's every 5 millimetres on this line. Now you might ask, why are you doing that? Well, you'll see in a minute why I'm doing it. Okay, to do hatching of this size, you want to do it every 5 millimetres. So you get your 45 set square, and from all these wee points I've done, you draw some hatch lines. You obviously don't hatch bits that are not seen, but, or sorry, I've been cut through. So that's that, and back to here. Okay, so I'm just going to be hatching all the way through all the bits that have been cut. You don't hatch webs, which are the wee triangular parts on the outside. That's just a rule that they don't get hatched, so don't worry about them. Okay, so I'm going to do this all the way down here and then all the way over the other side as well. So hatching's a way of showing that something's been cut through. You should know that already, but just remind you of it. Okay, so I've come to here and the rest of this is hatched as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm now going to just use my judgment. Okay, you can do that, you don't need to measure it, but clearly if you do measure it then you should get them more regular. You can use your eye and hatch them like this as well. Okay, I'm going to hatch all the way along here, all the way up to the top there, and I'm not going to waste any video on it, so you'll see it in the next video.